Las Vegas, Nancy Pelosi wanted everyone to know that she had been here before and knew what to do. Let me just give you some hope, the House Democratic leader told campaign donors on October 17 at a private gathering on the patio of the Las Vegas Four Seasons Hotel. Anytime a president in office is below 50% in recent history, his party has lost the Congress in the next election. Her sample size was a bit small for comfort. In the past half-century, only the three most recent presidents have given up the House. But this was a pep talk, not an academic symposium. Pelosi, a San Francisco Democrat who has raised her party more than $633 million over the past 15 years, was on a seven-city, 8-day tour to show that the 2018 midterm campaign was in full swing. The Democratic effort to retake the House and return from the wilderness would probably rise or fall on the performance of one of the most polarizing figures in modern American politics. We have a plan and a vision to unify, she told the donors, according to attendees. After 3 decades in Congress, Pelosi, 77, makes an unlikely general to lead the troops into another change election. Her party, deemed elite and out of touch in 2016, is struggling to win back Midwestern working-class voters, and anger at Washington's entrenched leaders is pretty much the only thing that unites the country. But rather than shrink from the spotlight, Pelosi is once again in control, her party's top fundraiser, senior midterm election strategist and top legislative negotiator, in partnership with Senate Minority Leader Charles E. Schumer. She has for months led a rolling battle with the Trump agenda, setting a disciplined, pugilistic tone for her caucus and casting herself as the official face of the resistance. With substantial help from the opposition, she has been winning more than not, at least as measured by a growing number of competitive seats, her ability to outmaneuver Republican leaders on Capitol Hill and Trump's low approval ratings. There are a lot of ways to skin a cat, she likes to joke about the president. And he is skinning himself. That doesn't mean that anything is ordained. It's not a slam dunk, she told the donors. Given all the things that can still go wrong, she was almost certainly understating the risk. The last time Pelosi led Democrats in an effort to take back the House, she was a new face on the scene, promising to drain the swamp a decade before Trump adopted the phrase. She became the first female speaker and the most powerful woman in American history, only to lose the gavel 4 years later, after passing the Affordable Care Act, the 2009 stimulus and new financial regulations. These days, undocumented immigrant activists shout her down from the left when she visits the Bay Area. Some of the younger House Democrats have begun to call for a generational change at the top. And Republicans delight in the possibility of turning Midwestern races into referendums on San Francisco values. Over the summer, the GOP won a special House election in Georgia by tarring the local candidate with the Pelosi brand. One ad featured the Golden Gate Bridge, cable cars and a pigtailed hippie flashing a two-fingered peace sign. Democratic pollsters later found in focus groups that attacking Washington liberals proved effective in the Republican-leaning district. I certainly hope the Democrats do not force Nancy P. out, President Trump taunted weeks later on Twitter. That would be very bad for the Republican Party. Pelosi denies that any of this affects her or her caucus, arguing that 70 seats will be more competitive next year than the one Democrats lost in Georgia. Instead, she defiantly flashes a gay pride rainbow flag band on the Apple Watch on her left wrist, refusing to disguise her liberal credentials. Self-promotion is a terrible thing, but evidently someone has to do it, she explained a few days earlier, sitting in her Capitol office for one of several interviews with the Washington Post over the past 2 weeks. The minute you do better, they will come after you, and that's why they come after me. No one doubts that Pelosi can put points on the board. In the 3 months that ended in September, she held 165 fundraising events in 35 cities, raising $38.9 million for House Democrats, helping top the committee fundraising haul of Republicans, according to her aides. She also has made herself a constant national media presence, including with 4-hour-long CNN primetime specials this year alone, more airtime than many of the network's paid contributors. If you know the name of any legislator who knows how and wants to do the job, please give it to me so my children can have their grandmother back. said her youngest daughter, Alexandra Pelosi, in an email. Behind the scenes, Pelosi has been working with Republicans to undermine the Trump agenda. In recent months, she has strategized with Republican governors,